Hey there, my name's Steve Spence, owner of Project Mapit, and wanted to take you through a recorded demo of the ABC Supply event slide deck that we've offered and presented to just recently. So the first thing is we believe that great contractors earn more when their work is easy to see, easy to trust, and impossible to ignore. So what you're looking at with this map on the left-hand side is just a homeowner being able to look at it and say, holy crap, the Paramount roofing is impossible to ignore. And if you're able to do that, your sales team is going to win more jobs. That's the why statement of why Project Mapit is who we are. Something that we want to make sure everybody understands is that searching online has changed. It's changed from keywords and SEO keywords. SEO is still alive. It's still good. It's still kicking, but it's shifting towards more of a reputation model than SEO keywords. And we're going to talk about that in this video. This one just basically means that if you look at this homeowner, this husband and wife over here on the top right, they've already called, let's just say 3 companies to come do a free estimate of their roofing or siding job or decking, whatever, their exterior remodeling job. And they've called the 3, but they've already made up their mind between 57 and 70%. It just depends what case study you're looking at, right? So why have they already made up their mind? How are they making up their mind? And it's because they're searching you online. They're looking at your Google business profile. They are searching through AI and doing some research. They're looking at all the reviews that you have. Those all play factors into, you gaining business. Project Mapit, my product, our product, we find ourselves falling in 3 buckets. And these are the 3 buckets you're looking at. And they're in order of importance. The first bucket is we're a sales tool. We make no bones about it. Some of our competitors say, hey, we're going to help with SEO and bring you in tons of leads. And they never do, at least from my knowledge. I could be wrong. I don't know their product as well as I do, as my product. But point being, we are a sales tool that will help your sales team have something in their presence, in their hand, that will show a homeowner why they should choose your company over the other 2 or 3, right? The second bucket is we are a review capture tool. So with our system, you build out this page. I'm going to get into it deeper, but you build out a page that looks like this within Project Mapit. This is a Project Mapit tool. You can bookmark a QR code that takes the homeowner directly to this, and you can ask for the review right on the spot. You're going to see there's right here, we, Project Mapit, we're our own review platform that I'll get into. So our second bucket is we are a review capture platform, and we can display all of your Google, Project Mapit, Facebook reviews. The other review platforms don't allow us to display them, but we have some things that we're going to do soon where you can at least give access to the other platforms like Yelp and Angie and stuff. The third thing is that, and we have not talked about this much in previous sales demos when we talk to customers, but we are starting to realize this public profile page will come in handy. So our third bucket is public profile page. It's a page, think of it like an Angie page or a Better Business Bureau page, but it's your page. So it's like a 1-page landing page that's built out within Project Mapit's platform. And that page, we believe strongly, will be a page that really utilizes the AI search model where AI is looking for fresh data, fresh content of jobs that you've installed and stuff like that. So we do believe that this is going to come in handy, and we're going to talk about that later. So let's first just do a demo of Project Mapit and show you what Project Mapit is. So we are an interactive mapping platform. That's what we are at its core. We are a sales tool at its core. So if you decide to choose to use Project Mapit, we want you to use Project Mapit because you see us as a great sales tool. It's interactive, so this is us logged in, but just to give you an idea, there's tons of customizations. We can make the map branded to your company logo so it looks nice on your website because it lives on a website. If you like pins, you can use pins. If you'd rather it be houses, we can make the pins houses. These clusters just neaten up the map a little bit. I don't know if you've ever seen a map that's just like 1,000 pins and you can't click on the pin because, like, if you look over here, you can't click on the pin because they're so close together. That just means there's 65 jobs in that area. So I can click on a cluster and zoom in. What I did just now will help sell a deal. A sales rep saying, hey, just so you know, we've done this many jobs in your community. That will alone help a customer have, the credibility that they need, the confidence that they need to choose you. You can even put your logo. Logos are a little more difficult. You have to have a good logo that would work, but we could make the pins your logo if you have a good logo. So overall, tons of customizations. How the map works as a sales tool. I've already said, just showing local reputation. We've done this many jobs in, a 5 mile square radius will help close a deal. But over here on the right-hand side, these 4 buttons will help the map interactively change. And this gallery view that you're looking at will also interactively change based on filters. So let's go into that. First of all, we have a direct integration with your Google business profile, right? So we can bring in all of your Google reviews. Facebook's not working, but we're going to rebuild Facebook in the next quarter. So the next 3 months. So we can show all your Google reviews. Project Map It, we're our own review platform, so your Project Map It reviews would also show up here. So you can showcase your reviews in seconds. Think about this. I always say this. On your website right now, think about your website. If I go to your reviews page, your testimonial page on your website, are 100% of your reviews showing? Most of the time, some of you, they are, but most of the time they aren't. There's like a widget that shows 10 reviews. If this is embedded on your website, which it can be, any website, and you have 104 Google reviews, all 104 Google reviews are on your website now. Okay. So the ability to showcase Project Map It, Google, and Facebook reviews. The map will change. This customer has 1,149 projects total. So pins on the map. If I click on this, you'll see they have 992 projects that actually have photos attached to those 1,149. So the map changes as you see. So no matter what pin I pick, I'm going to see a photo of that job. Search by location. I will say that I won't get into this, but this is where the sales call really helps. Like if I'm sitting at a homeowner's house at the kitchen table, if you sit at the kitchen table, you can go in here and start typing in the address, 224 Cloister Road. That's where I live, and click this. It will zoom in. This is a Massachusetts map, a Rhode Island map. I live in Maryland. That's why you see no pins. But having location filters where you can dive right in seconds to show the homeowner where you're sitting at the kitchen table, like, hey, look at the jobs around us. That helps. This is the bread and butter, and this is what makes us tick. So if you wanted to showcase, if you're a roofing and siding company, it can be anything. These filters can be absolutely anything. These guys do a lot of Velux skylights. They're a specialty skylight installer, so they have all of their Velux skylights in there. So if I'm sitting with a homeowner and they're trying to choose between Georgetown Black, Georgetown Gray, and Charcoal Black, I can click on this and you're going to see the map change in 2 spots. The map will change. So pins on the map will only show pins that are Georgetown Gray. The gallery view will change. So here we go. So now whatever I pick, it's going to be a Georgetown Gray. So you can see it down here, roofing, chimney flashing, Georgetown Gray. But also over here, these thumbnails are all pictures, projects that they did that were in Georgetown Gray. So I can click on a thumbnail too. It'll open up the pin. So I can show what a Georgetown Gray looks like. I can scroll down. I can look at, the project description, which you have the ability to do. If any of the projects had a Google review on it, like this one, you see the G badge. I know that if I scroll down, the Google review can also be on that pin. Every pin is shareable. So if I'm dealing with an older customer and I wanted to show them a couple projects we've done of Georgetown Gray, I can go in here just underneath the 1 of 6, and click on this button, this icon. It says URL copied. You can email that URL directly to that homeowner. Hey, click on a couple of links to see some of the jobs we've done in Georgetown Gray. Again, this is fully customizable. This is where ABC Supply comes in handy. A supply company like ABC Supply has 2 parts of the detail of the order that you made with them that really helps us. They know the address, so they know they delivered to 255 Pamela Drive. They also know the material that they delivered. So all you do is you connect your My ABC Supply account to Project Map It, and it'll bring in about 5 years worth of data, up to 5 years worth of ABC Supply deliveries. Just so you understand, it's 10 squares or above. So if you order 10 squares or above from ABC Supply, it'll automatically populate your map. So if you're a brand new customer of ours and your map is totally blank, you connect your My ABC Supply account, your map will then all of a sudden start populating all of these pins. Not only that, but it'll also categorize them by shingle, siding, brand, and color. If you order from My ABC Supply, or if you order from ABC Supply tomorrow and it's more than 10 squares, the map automatically gets updated. So ABC Supply does an incredible job being able to just update your map consistently so you don't have to manually do it. It lives right on a website. So here's Matt Marshall, the owner of Marshall Roofing. Most people put a nice image on the homepage with a call to action that says, hey, check out all the work we've done in your neighborhood, view our projects. And so it gets embedded right onto a website. There isn't a website yet in the 8 years that I've been around Project Map It that it hasn't worked. So that is us as a sales tool. The way people use us in sales are the following: a pre-appointment email. Hey, John and Cindy, thanks for booking with Best Roofing Company. Blah, blah, blah. Meet me, Steve Spence. Before I arrive, consider looking over the following. And you could put a video of your sales rep, but definitely put a link to your portfolio of past work. So if I click on this, it'll open up in that pre-appointment email a direct link to the map, to your company's map. So again, remember that stat, 57 to 70% of their mind is made up, the homeowners, before your sales rep even gets out there, sales consultant. So in your pre-appointment email, stick Project Map It in there so they see your book of business digitally. I've had customers call me, hey, Steve, we sold a 50 square roof to a homeowner the other day, and they specifically said the reason we used you is because in your pre-appointment email or in your proposal, you had a link to a portfolio and we were able to drive around and see some jobs that you completed. Or another customer of ours said, we looked at the map, we saw that you did work in our neighborhood, we chose you because of that. So there is a direct link between like showing off your book of business and closing jobs. All right. Other ways people use us. If you are using some sort of visual during your inspection, right? Maybe you're sitting down at the kitchen table and you're using Engage or a PowerPoint or something where you're having a digital presentation. A lot of people are using their proposal tools, like their CRM has a proposal tool attached to it. Sticking Project Map It in that proposal tool will help. So just some things to think about if you don't use a digital presentation. The brain processes 60,000 times faster with images. So having a digital presentation like I'm offering to you right now will help you be remembered by homeowners. Retaining information. If you're sitting at the kitchen table and providing a sales deck that's a visual presentation, that homeowner will retain 80% of what you said. And then 90% of the information is brought in through the eyes out of the 5 senses. Here's some presentation platforms. I'm actually delivering you a presentation on Engage. So whether you use us or not, if you want to be introduced to Engage, they are built, the old adage, built by contractors. They were contractors. They built this digital presentation platform. We use it at Project Map It and love it. So if you'd like me to introduce you to them, I certainly can. Here's an example of a proposal. This is a roofer proposal. They're one of our partners. You're telling your company story. Maybe you're using this when you're sitting at the kitchen table. You're sharing the products you're using, the colors of said product. You're writing your good, better, and best deals. And then what my company will do, Project Map It, will build out a one-page PDF like this, stick something like this within your proposal so that all the customer has to do is click on this call to action button right here, view our portfolio, and it'll open up the map. So people put it in those places, pre-appointment emails or text messages, in-home presentations if you do a digital presentation, and any proposal that you send after you visit the home. This is a thing where if you're interested, you can fill out this. That was done at the actual presentation at the ABC event. So let's talk about reviews. I asked everybody at the event that I just presented at, how do you collect reviews? And these tend to be the answers, right? They either ask in person, they send a text message or an email or both, like a combination of the two. I know a lot of CRMs do that. Maybe they leave behind a card that has a QR code. These are the conversion rates. Just to be clear, the highest conversion rate is ask in person. Again, depending on which study, realistically, you'll get 50% converted. 76% was one study that said you would convert. Requests, text messages are getting kind of old. It's like it's like old hat now. So it's converting about 20%. Emails, 10 to 15%. Leave behinds, 10 to 20%. Okay. So to go over, our product has, that's the second bucket, a way to collect reviews. Before I get into the how Project Map It helps collect reviews, I'd like to go over these statistics. Google right now, and it's changing, it's probably going to be even higher, but right now, Google puts relevance about 15%. So if I made a pie chart, a Google pie chart, 15% of that pie chart from Google would say, hey, 15% of what Google thinks of your company to be found on a search, 15% of it is important to have good reviews. So 15% of that pie is a big one. So getting reviews consistently, 10 a month at minimum, is a really good number to kind of a goal to reach. 31%, the way I presented it at the event is people will spend, so a homeowner will spend 31% more if you're a company with good Google reviews. I always use this as an example. In 2024, I needed a new HVAC unit. Called two companies, not three, but two. One company was Cornet HVAC Heating and Cooling. They had like 300 Google reviews. The other was another company that had 22. Cornet HVAC was about $1,500 more, but the 22 review one, that company was also saying it would be about $1,500 less than what Cornet was saying. I still went with Cornet because I knew that if I went with Cornet, they had a great reputation. They had 300 reviews. So I went with the bigger price ticket. So people will spend 31% more. So reviews are very important. 4.5 to 4.8 average on your reviews. The reason that we talked about at the event is that you don't want to strive. This sounds very dumb. You might shake your head when I say this, but a 5.0, a perfect 5-star rating, Google might look at you as like a spammy company. Like Google knows that you're an exterior remodeling company. Google doesn't expect you to have a perfect 5-star rating. If you do, it might question whether or not it's a true good, like if all the reviews that you have there are right. 4.5 to 4.8 shows a better picture in that Google understands that you're not going to be a perfect person. Like with the volume you all do, you're going to get a bad review here and there. So 4.5 to 4.8 is a good sweet spot. It's not to say that if you have a perfect 5-star, Google is going to knock you on it, but that is the average. Negative reviews aren't horrible. Google expects to see mixed results. That's what I just said, right? It's okay not to be perfect. Google is okay with that as well. So when you do get a bad review, obviously if it's a fake review, you're going to ask Google to take it down. But if it's not a fake review, you still want to reply within 24 to 48 hours and make sure that it's appropriate and that you're not kind of being aversive to that response. Some recommendations for reviews in general: ask for the review on the spot, right? So if you have a way where you can request that review as soon as the job is done, that's when the customer is at its happiest. You want to get reviews consistently, 8 to 10 every month. You definitely want to reply to your Google reviews consistently and quickly, 24 to 48 hours. Google likes that. Include keywords in your reply. Hey, we really enjoyed, installing the full deck replacement on your back porch. We used this type of decking material, do things like that. You can even ask the homeowner. You can't say, hey, Linda, will you please put Steve Spence's name in the email? Like Google doesn't like that you tell a homeowner to put an exact name, but the way we do it at Project Map It is, if there's anybody at Project Map It that you feel like did a good job, can you please mention their name? Again, if you have a person's name from your job, from your company in the Google review, Google looks at that as very authentic, right? Like, hey, Steve Spence, the sales rep, was really good, came to my house, was really knowledgeable, super friendly, always checked on us. We really had a great experience. Google reads that and likes the fact that it said Steve Spence in it. So think about having the homeowner put some details in there as well, color of shingle, things like that. This is our review platform. So what you're looking at here, right, is on the left-hand side, an actual showing what Project Map It is. You can put any links in here, Better Business Bureau, Angie, Yelp, you name it, we probably have it. We are our own review platform. Leave a Project Map It review. Why is that important? So I asked at the event, how do you capture reviews and what reviews are you after? And so some people raised their hand and they said, hey, Steve, we send an email with a link to Google, or I have a tap card. And if you look at the screen down here in the bottom left, like here's a tap card. So we have tap cards and I'm like, where does that tap card lead the homeowner to? Oh, to Google. Here's something to think about. And not everybody knows this. If the homeowner doesn't have a Gmail account, they can't leave you a Google review. So what do you do then? If I have a tap card that only takes them to Google and the homeowner doesn't have a Gmail account, you just missed out on possibly getting a review. So Project Map It down here, it's its own review platform. We are our own review platform, which is kind of nice, right? Like, so if somebody doesn't have a Gmail account, you can ask for Project Map It review. So you have this QR code that's literally bookmarked to your home screen of your Android or iPhone. The job is over. You go up to the homeowner. Let's just call her Linda. And my company, I'm Steve. So let's just say I'm Steve's Roofing Company. I would go to Linda and I'd say something like this. Miss Linda, is there anything that Steve's Roofing Company did that would not want you to leave us a 5-star review? And Linda says, no, I totally would leave you a review. You guys did a great job. Right then, right there, Psychology 101, I have Linda on the hook for leaving me a review. She just told me she would leave me a review. So now I'm going to take out this card, or I'm going to open up my phone and just tap on a little bookmark that opens up this QR code. So you can buy a QR, you can put a QR code on a tap card. It doesn't matter. You can just bookmark it to your phone like you see here that I'm hovering over. You click on a button, it opens up. And here, I'll even show you on the bottom left what I'm talking about. So on the bottom left of this screen, there's a P. Right? And when I click on that P, it's going to open up that QR code. So you can just bookmark it right to your phone. So now I'm like, hey, Linda, here's a QR code. Do you mind leaving me a review? What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around your house one more time with my metal picker-upper thing and make sure your yard is spotless before I take off. While I'm doing this last cleanup, do you mind leaving me a review? And what's Linda going to say? She literally 5 seconds earlier said that she would leave me a review. So Linda says yes. I tap, she opens up, she taps, she QR codes it. This page opens up and I'm asking Linda, do you have a Gmail account? No, Steve, I don't. That's cool. See this Project Map It review? You can just click on that. It opens up a page. I'll click play here again and then I'll try to pause it. It opens up a page to Project Map It, and it's a third party that requires no login. So now Linda's like, well, crap, that's awesome. So just to give you an idea. So here's Project Map, and this is what our review platform looks like. So they leave their name, their last name. The way it displays on our platform is it generates your first name. So it'd be Steven S. It only puts the last initial of your last name, and then it's 5-star, and then your user experience. So that's how our system works. So we are a way that allows you to still capture a review. Think about it. Even Better Business Bureau and Angie and Yelp, they're all great products. Not discounting any of them, but you have to set up an account with all of them. And a lot of homeowners don't do that. So our system requires no login. So that's our review platform. Now I want to get into the last part, which is this thing called SEO and GEO, and maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. Sorry, I'm trying to silence my phone. SEO is your traditional search engine optimization, right? GEO stands for Generative Engine Optimization. So let's talk about both of them and how our product can help with GEO. I'm going to start in the top left. I'm going to go from here to ranking, to user behavior, to scope of info, okay? So traditional SEO, which is still alive, around and kicking, but traditional SEO would be that thing where, here, I'll even show you. Somebody types in roofer near me, right? Landscaper near me, pool company near me, and they hit enter, and then Google spits this out. Sponsored results, so people that pay a lot of money to be at the top, like Arrington Roofing and Trinity Roofing and T-Rock. You got the magical 3 to 4 pack on the map part. And then you have, it's usually like all your big players in the manufacturing and review system. But then you have like Shepherd Roofing. They made it to the first page, right? And we always want to be on the first page. We never want to be on that second page of a Google search, right? So that's your traditional way, right? So let's think about that. It's how results are delivered. Roofer near me, the customer types in, Google puts out a list of things that you just saw. You see the map listing with the 4, and then you're always that contractor that's like, yeah, man, I made it to the first page. I'm doing well. Okay. The way a contracting company like yourself gets to this is by key terms, right? SEO key terms. You've heard that a million times. Putting backlinks on other websites that link to your website. Maybe you are with Certainteed and you're credentialed with Certainteed, and on the Find a Pro Certainteed page for your company, it's backlinked to your website, right? Other site authorities, Roofer's Coffee Shop, I'm going to show you as an example in a second. So local factors. So I'm sitting here where I live in Arnold, Maryland. Arnold is the city. Maryland is my state that I live in. When I type in roofer near me at my computer that I'm typing on right now and looking at, it's seen, Google is saying like, oh, here's his IP address. The guy lives in Arnold. Let's try to find some websites of roofing companies around this guy's house that would be good, that have good key terms, good backlinks, and have a strong number of reviews on their Google business profile. When this happens, the homeowner, let's say I Googled roofer near me, typically I would visit a few of those websites on that list that I showed you in the video prior to this, whatever you call it, this slide. So I'd click on Shepherd Roofing in that example. Maybe I'd go to the second page, click on a couple more, and now I'm doing the research, right? So that's what I'm doing. And again, the way that I get to that is having a strong website, having a strong Google business profile. NAP, not many people know what that stands for. It stands for name, address, phone number. So is my name, address, and phone number consistent across the internet? So that's a more of a minor factor. So now there's a different thing going on, right? People are going into asking questions up at the URL bar in a Google, and then Google is sometimes putting out an AI overview. Or this is a picture of my phone, and you'll see in the top right, there's ChatGPT. And what do we all do in ChatGPT? We ask it questions. We're literally saying, hey, I'm looking for a roof install. I live in, Detroit, Michigan. I'm looking for a reputable company. I want that company to be credentialed with certainty. I'm looking for a Landmark Pro shingle. I want a company with a bunch of 4 stars and above. Give me an answer. So GEO is generating an answer, generative AI, and it's generating an answer. In this scenario, it gives me 2 answers. Okay. So GEO is playing a much larger role when it comes to searching for your home services that you provide. And these, and I'll quickly go over it, are the things and the factors that relate to GEO. Okay. Results are delivered by a direct answer. You just saw it. It said Paramount Roofing and another company. It gave me 2 answers, right? So it's because I'm physically asking AI to give me an answer. This is my question. These are my criteria. I want it to be, some people might write, I want companies with 100 or more reviews. If your company doesn't have 100 reviews or more, you might be one of the best SEO driven companies that has a website domain that has some huge authority in your market. But if I'm an AI and I say I want a company with 100 or more reviews and you only have 52, you might not show up on a result. So AI is delivering an exact answer. The behavior is that me, the homeowner, I'm actually going to trust that answer. So it said Paramount Roofing and the other. I'm just going to be like, okay. I mean, AI, it just researched billions of websites in under 5 seconds. It gave me an answer. So I'm going to trust what AI says. So I, the homeowner, or your customers, are doing less actual digging and relying more on answers driven from AI. The rankings are the overall reputation, and this is the differentiator. Okay. In the past, SEO more catered towards website, domain, your Google business profile, and stuff like that. Okay. Now, what's happening is AI is able to search billions, like I just said, of websites across the entire internet and come up and formulate an answer. So now your certainty credentialed Find a Pro page is becoming more important, because if you have a lot of good information on that Find a Pro page, or good information on your socials, or good information on like Roofer's Coffee Shop and Project Mapit's profile page, which is what I'm about to show you, AI will be able to pick all that stuff up. Okay. So it's looking beyond just your website like the traditional SEO. Scope of use. So in other words, where is it looking? It's looking a much wider scope. It's looking beyond your GBP and your website and your reviews. It's looking at all of the third-party platforms out there that have information about you. It's looking at your social medias. It's looking at your YouTube page. It's looking at any directory you have about your company out there. Maybe it's, like I already said, your certainty, your Project Mapit profile page, Roofer's Coffee Shop. Since ABC, I'm probably talking to a lot of companies that install roofing and siding. Yelp, stuff like that. I don't think I have NAP. I do. Name, address, phone number. That's what NAP stands for. So I have Google. This is your Google business. This is Roofer's Coffee Shop. This is Facebook. So I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about here. So here's my Google business profile. N, name. A, address. P, phone number. Okay. Are those 3 things the same across the board? So if I go to Facebook, I can tell you without a doubt that in Project Mapit, that the phone number is the same as my Google business and the email address is the same across all. Okay. And the website's the same across all. If I go to my website, the address, the name, and the phone number are all the same. We have a page, a directory page on Roofer's Coffee Shop. If you did a deep research on, is Project Mapit a good sales and marketing tool? If you've ever done this before, deep research in ChatGPT will say, yes, Project Mapit's a good sales and marketing tool, I hope. I'm pretty sure it will. And it will cite its sources. Roofer's Coffee Shop will be one of the sources. It'll be Roofer's Coffee Shop, Ask a Pro or Ask a Roofer, I think, which is another spinoff of Roofer's Coffee Shop's marketing, and then Metal Coffee Shop. So we're on all of those directories. So here's the Roofer's Coffee Shop. So in this, you'll see the number, the address, and the email address are all the same. I am currently going, like, I don't think it's updated yet, but Roofer's Coffee Shop is updating this page for me. I sent them over all new writing. I've reached out to Presto Media, a partner of ours, and asked him to do a blog with new information about Project Map It. In all of those, I'm asking them to make sure that the name, address, and email and phone number are all the same. Why is it important? Because AI, when you search and it starts sniffing out answers, right? AI is looking for an answer, which means AI is looking for the most trusted companies. And the ones that are most trusted are the ones that have the same name, phone number, and address throughout the entire interweb. If this number was like a 443 number, which is another Maryland number, and it had said sspence@projectmapit.com, and you know, my website had, you know, support@projectmapit.com and a different phone number, AI would be like, that's kind of weird. Why are there different phone numbers everywhere? So the more consistent you are across the board and the more information you have across the board, the better. Okay, that's your NAP. So that's one recommendation I'd make, whether you use us or not. Definitely make sure you're doing that. I'm doing that. I'm going to all of our partners. We have like 15 partners, and I'm trying to go through all of their different partner pages that have information about us and asking them to add a new rewrite, and then also make sure that our name, address, and phone number are on there, so that when somebody goes to ChatGPT and says, I'm a roofer and I'm looking for an interactive map, what's the best one? We pop up. Okay. I have this specific page. This is our website, and it says frequently asked questions. This is another thing I want you to think about. Does your website have frequently asked questions? Roofer's Coffee Shop, I sent them a new write-up, and at the bottom, it's going to have frequently asked questions that pertain to kind of like what Roofer's Coffee Shop offers. Side note, Roofer's Coffee Shop is $500 a year to have a directory page. This website, Roofer's Coffee Shop, gets tons of action every year. People search Roofer's Coffee Shop. They've been around forever. You having a directory page with the NAP being correct will help you out. For $500 a year, it's so worth it. Shoot me a text or an email and just say, hey, Steve, I love Project Mapper. We're going to get that. And also, can you introduce me to Roofer's Coffee Shop? Great. Or you could say, Steve, go pound sand. I could care less about Project Map It, but can you introduce me to Roofer's Coffee Shop? I'll introduce you to Roofer's Coffee Shop. It's the best $500 you'll spend. They offer a lot more than just a directory page. They do monthly like webinars that help you and your team learn more and stuff like that. So anyway, that was my side note. Now, why have a frequently asked question section on my directory page for Roofer's Coffee Shop? Why have a frequently asked question page on Project Map It, of which I update? I just added this one, right? The answer is, when I'm in AI, what are we doing when somebody's in AI? Here, I'll do this. I'll say, is Project Map It a good sales and marketing tool for roofers? Right? I'm asking a question. So when people are in AI, they're asking AI a question and asking for recommendations. So yes, Project Map It can be as strong. So by all means, go to ChatGPT, Perplexity, or something like that, Gemini, and ask. So if people are in AI asking questions, your website should have questions, and you should update this question section frequently and add questions that people are asking about the services you provide. So think about what people might be searching and putting those questions in there, and update it like once a month. I go in and I update a new question once every month on my website. I'm going to be asking Roofer's Coffee Shop to update my Roofer's Coffee Shop frequently asked questions section once a month. So those are some things to consider. Now, with all of that said, these directory pages, Project Map It, we are a directory page. This is what our directory page looks like. So everybody's going to have a page with your logo on it. We're actually rebuilding this. So depending when you see this video, it might already be rebuilt. It's going to be done in the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks. we're rebuilding this page for a few things, just to give you an idea. We're restructuring the headers and stuff like that, so it's more SEO friendly. Like your headers should say, in this case, Miller's Roofing, Wellsville, Pennsylvania. So header 1 nav, things like that. We're recoding and doing the schema so that it's read by AI machines a little bit better. But this page has a lot of good reputation signals to it. Again, remember what I said earlier. Google and AI, they're all looking more for companies that can give us fresh data, fresh content about your company that shows reputation. What better to show reputation than an interactive map that literally shows everything that requires reputation, meaning locations, yeah, that's reputation, reviews, that definitely shows reputation, and pictures of your work. So when we restructure this, we're going to put alt text by using AI. So AI, we're going to infuse AI into putting alt text on all these pictures. So this page becomes just a smorgasbord hub for AI to search. We just pushed out a new thing that is a AI project description builder. So you can write a project description, which is fresh content. This is really going to be what's going to be able to drive. So in under 15 seconds or less, I can talk in my Project Mapit account and say, hey, Miller's Roofing, we installed a Certainty Landmark Pro, what color was it? Max Def Pure Wood, blah, blah, blah. I can say something unique about it. We had to replace, whatever, 5 deck boards, you name it, say something unique. And then under 15 seconds, AI will then write it for you. So this becomes the fresh data that they like, along with the alt text on each picture. It also shows reviews, and right now there's not a FAQ, a frequently asked questions section, but when we build out this page, there's going to be a frequently asked questions section. So this page we do strongly believe is going to help a lot with AI searching. I'd rather under-promise than over-deliver, and what I mean by that, sorry, I always do that, is the following. So when we talk about buckets, these are our 3 buckets. Review capturing is definitely a second top tier bucket of ours. We are a sales tool first. So if you decide to buy us because you're going to put us in that pre-appointment email, buy us because you're going to add us to any kind of digital presentation. If you do a digital presentation, buy us because you're going to add it to proposals. That alone will help your close rate increase by 3 to 10%. We're a review capture tool, but our third bucket is that public profile page. I'm not going to sit here ever and guarantee that we're going to help bring in tons of leads. That's not what we're about. We're about like realistic probability. We would rather underpromise and overdeliver, but we do believe that public profile page, along with the AI project description, in collaboration with that part to write project descriptions in under 15 seconds or less, will truly help that page be very noticeable by AI search engines. So those are our 3 buckets. Just trying to think of what else we have. So to onboard, we connect your ABC supply delivery orders. You can either log in yourself and connect your ABC account. Just give us the ABC login credentials. We'll brand your map, connect your ABCs, get everything started. We'll take any other data that you have, CRM data. Maybe you're using a CRM and you can give us all the repairs and windows and stuff like that you've done. So our team works with your team pretty quickly. If you have decent project photos already and you use a CRM and you order a lot from ABC, we can literally get you onboarded in 48 hours or less, 72 hours or less. But we'll even work with your marketing company. We'll spend 2 hours loading photos for you, and then we'll train you up on all the things. We'll train you. We can do one big training that lasts an hour and a half. We can do 3 separate trainings, as many trainings as you need, but basically sales training is important. The AI description builder training would be probably pretty good. If you're going to use our review platform, which I would highly recommend, that's a separate training. So there are different things that we can do, but we will train you through and through. And that's it. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. You have a wonderful day. If you want me to introduce you to Roofer's Coffee Shop, please let me know. Just email me back, even if you decide not to purchase our product. Really appreciate it. Take care. Bye.